Okay, very good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Desmond. I'm from Yin and Yang TCM Clinic. And thank you for joining us at this Understanding Menopause with TCM webinar. Today, we have invited our speaker, our physician from Yin and Yang TCM Clinic, physician Lin Xiaoyan. She will be talking to you about menopause and helping you understand more about menopause and how TCM can help you, with all these menopausal conditions. Yeah. Okay. Let us join hands in welcoming Lin Xiaoyan 医师. Okay.
Hello, hi. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
All right, hi. Okay. So we shall start on our topic today.
All right.
Okay, sure. Okay, so we shall start on the topic of understanding menopause with TCM. So it's an honor to be here this evening. So I'm physician Xiaoyan 医师, and I hope that you will enjoy the time we are going to spend together during these sharing sessions. So I'm glad to be given this opportunity to share with you on the topic of TCM's approach towards the menopause issues to increase the awareness of how menopause has impacted women during this transitional period. All right. So before we start, I would also like to extend my invitation to your family members to join in this sharing session to let them know what you are going through so that they can be more understanding and accommodating towards what you are experiencing and how menopause has affected you mentally and physically. Because I'm sure that some of you or many of you will have your family members or friends who reflect to you that, hey, you seem to be a changed person during this period of time and what's happening to you? And they cannot empathize with what has happened going inside. And this is a very good chance to learn it together. So for today's talk, I'll be touching on 4 main areas. I will make it as simple as possible to let you comprehend menopause from TCM perspective, which I believe many of you will have thought TCM is a very, very profound subject to touch on. So firstly, I'll brief you how TCM views menopause in Yin and Yang aspects. Secondly, we'll go through what are the causative factors that lead to menopause. And third, I will introduce TCM treatments that help to ease discomfort associated with menopause. So lastly, I will share with you some TCM remedies that cater to your body constitutions that you can make conveniently at home to try. So there will be a little fun quiz at the end of the talk that you can participate in. Also, you can prepare a mirror now at the side. First, because later on, I need you to use it later to check on your tongue to determine your own body constitution. All right, so let's sit back, relax, and go through the talk together now. So from the first slide over here, you do see that this is a very famous and a familiar picture of this Yin and Yang 八卦. So the white color represents the Yang, while the black represents the Yin. So Yang represents energy that's hot in nature, vibrant, and outward-going, while the Yin energy is the total opposite, that is cold, that is dull, and inward in nature. So you can actually see this as Yin as an introvert character and Yang as the extrovert character. So when Yin and Yang coexist, then this is the origin of life. So when the Yin and Yang disconnect, then that spells the end of life. So how menopause occurs in TCM? We see it is a result of the disruption to the dynamic balance of the kidney Yin and Yang energy. So due to different body constitutions that each one of us have, so during the menopause period, some of us as a result will develop depleted Yin energy, while some will have Yang energy deficiency. So we experience different symptoms during menopause that I will elaborate later on in more details. So the goals of our TCM treatments, be it the herbal prescriptions, acupuncture, or cupping, is to restore a healthy balance of Yin and Yang to improve our quality of life. So there's actually a very long list of symptoms that's related to menopause. I've collated some of the most commonly seen conditions for your reference over here. So menopause often occurs with, like say, irregular menstruation cycle. So what do we mean by irregular? So it means that menstrual periods might be late or earlier. The cycle could skip for a few months or shorten to 20 plus days. And menstrual flow will also become very heavy or lighter, depending on the individual's body makeup. And at times, spotting is also observed, which can last for a few weeks. Then next, we move to this hot flush. So this is one of the most prominent complaints that we see clinically from our clients coming to us. So it's most often caused by the kidney yin deficiency. So this condition affects about 3/4 of all women during menopause. So hot flush is a feeling of this sudden onset of the intense heat at the neck, face, and the chest. It's accompanied with palpitation and sweating. It's not solely affected by external factors like the hot weather. For instance, even in aircon room, when hot flush attacks, you will start to feel very warm, flush, and sweaty, while the rest are very comfortable with the environment, or even they might even feel cold. So some hot flush might last for a few seconds, while some might continue for more than 10 minutes. So definitely there are trigger factors for hot flushes, such as smoking, alcohol consumption, lack of sleep, and taking spicy food like mala and fried food will actually, like say, worsen the issue. So do stay away from them if, let's say, you don't want your hot flush to happen too often. Ladies also experience more prominent, like say, mood swings, and this is usually caused by the liver qi stagnation. For instance, at one moment you're fine, but when someone says something wrong or says something that's not to your liking, for instance, simply saying that, hey, why you're wearing this dress today? Suddenly you flare up, which is not your usual self. So people around you might be very alarmed or puzzled with what is going on with you and why you like that, like suddenly. And you simply also cannot explain yourself because you are too big-headed or you're very annoyed with yourself also. You cannot explain yourself. So this actually adversely affects your relationship with people around you. So it tends to be very temperamental and very sensitive to other people's comments. So some of you also may complain about the body ache. So you say that, ayo, my body here pain, there pain, leg pain, hand pain. So when you go see a doctor or conduct blood test, so the results show no anomaly and you cannot explain what's the cause for your joint pains. However, it could also be a sign of osteoporosis that we cannot overlook. It's also commonly seen in ladies during menopause. We can attribute this to be the result of the both kidney yin and yang deficiency. So this frequent nocturnal urination is another troublesome issue. So when we say frequent, what do we mean? It means that 3 times and above in one night, they will wake up to urinate is considered frequent. 1 time or 2 times urination at night time is considered normal. So some ladies also experience incontinence. You don't dare to, like say, laugh too loud. You cannot squat down suddenly. You cannot sneeze due to the loss of bladder control. That's a little bit awkward. And this is due to the kidney yang deficiency. So insomnia is also another worrying issue because most of the time your body is actually very tired from work, from exercise, but your mind is monkey mind. It's too active and you cannot settle down. And you dream a lot at night and your sleep quality is very bad. Then subsequently you develop panda eyes the next day. And very often this leads to absent-minded, very forgetful. So to ladies who are going through this menopause stage, the most, I would say, astonishing sights and are the physical appearance changes, such as hair thinning, hair loss, emergence of crow's feet, pigmentation, and definitely weight gain. Because it's a very huge damage to your confidence level and image. So ultimately, we want to age gracefully, and so here I am to explain to you what are the causes of all these issues and what we can do to reduce the effects as much as possible. So menopause happens when a lady hasn't menstruated for consecutively 12 months. These disturbing symptoms clinically that we see in our practice might last a few months or they might persist for up to, like say, 5 years, even after menses has, like say, stopped completely. When these conditions persist, it greatly affects work performance because you have a very poor sleep quality that affects your attention span, and when a hot flush actually occurs frequently, it's simply impossible to focus on work. So mood swings definitely pose a very challenging time for you and the people around you. Oh, you might also question. Well, why is it so unfair? We are all ladies. Why is it that some people, they are so blessed, you know, they do not have much of the discomfort, while some suffer so much? And what could be the reasons that contribute for such big differences? Well, some of us are born with natural weak body, so and frail, let's say, body makeup, and then like such as, let's say, weak kidney functions that cannot hold urine. So when menopause strikes, the issue with constant urination or incontinence can be further intensified. So illness such as thyroid disease, high blood pressure, cancers will also exacerbate the issue. So nowadays, I would say women need to be a superwoman, to be frank. So expectations from women to perform well at work, manage household, look after kids, have actually, let's say, worsened the burden on us that cause menopause to be of, let's say, unbearable transitional stage for some of us. So now we'll move on to our TCM treatment. So what do we have to offer for the treatment for menopause? Actually, for most women, medical treatments might not be required for menopause as they breeze through a fast-free transitional stage. But some experience symptoms ranging from mild to severe that require our attention and needs treatments. So in TCM, very often we offer customized herbal prescriptions, acupuncture, and cupping to help to tackle with these issues. So herbal remedies that comprise of like a combination of different TCM herbs that cater to your body constitutions. So I believe that some of you might have tried this TCM medication before, be it the liquid form, powder form, or the tablet forms. So for instance, when you're having hot flushes that's like fiery in nature, and we often prescribe you with in-nourishment TCM remedies that's cooling in nature to calm down your system. Acupuncture is also widely applied for majority of the conditions stated above, ranging from insomnia to facial acupuncture for beauty purposes to reduce wrinkles and pigmentations. Acupuncture is the insertion of these sterile hair-thin needles into these specific acupoints in the body to elicit this therapeutic effect. So maybe some of you will also have tried this before yourself. They will experience soreness, a little bit numbness sensation during the treatment. But don't worry, it's not very painful like during the injection. And lastly, we have this cupping, which is also a very popular treatment nowadays, that's used especially to relax the tense body muscles that resulted from stress from work or, let's say, your exercise. Because all these, let's say, muscle acheness, muscle soreness, they can cause like very poor sleep quality. So by using this cupping, it helps you to promote the blood circulation, help you to relax the muscle, to improve your sleep quality. So all these TCM treatments help to restore the balance of the yin and yang in the body and promote the smooth flow of the qi and blood in the meridian to treat menopause issues. Now, we have come to this main content of our today's talk. There's the syndrome differentiation, 辩证论治, to see which classification actually you fall under. TCM is a holistic approach, and we see the human body as a whole. So under such guidance, we check your pulse. We ask you to stick out your thumb to see the color, to see the coating, ask you a list of questions ranging from your diet to your bowel movement to gather as much information as we can to make a precise diagnosis for the treatment thereafter. So in our TCM clinical practice, it is way more complicated than what I'm going to present now on menopause classification due to the individual's body makeup, diet differences, lifestyle differences, health status. So there could be yin deficiency, yang deficiency, phlegm dampness, blood stasis, qi stagnation classifications. However, due to the time constraint, I will present the 4 most commonly seen clinical classifications. You see which one you fall under, and then to understand your body better. So first is the most commonly seen classification, that is the kidney yin deficiency. And these symptoms the symptoms that fall under this category are mainly related to dry conditions. And to put it simply, I'll call this the hot flush classification for easier reference, which I highlighted over here, hot flush. So what are the symptoms that fall under this classification? You can check yourself as well to see whether do you fit into this category. You have this irregular menses, which comes earlier than expected, and it flows in bright red color. You do also observe spotting as well, and hot flush is a very prominent prominent symptom under this classification. You get insomnia, you get very gong, giddiness, then you complain of the heels, soreness, and because this is due to the yin deficiency, which is a dry condition, that's why you get dry and itchy skin, and you do see wrinkles crawling up. So because it's dry, that's why you get constipation, you get very thirsty. So no matter how much water you drink, sometimes you say, hey, how come my urine is still yellow? So this is due to the dry condition inside your body. So the direct treatment would be to boost the kidney yin energy. So how do we go about treating this? Some of the simple, techniques that you can use at home is to do the massage. And over here, and then this acute point is called the Tai Chi acute points. So by pressing on these points, it helps you to boost your kidney yin energy to tackle with all the issues over here. So you can look at this, on the feet. So you can do so by pressing on these acute points about 5 minutes every day before bedtime to help you to sleep better as well. So under this classification, you have to avoid fried, oily, spicy food and refrain from taking too much of caffeine drinks when you fall under this classification. Because for people who fall under this classification, it's very prone to having diabetes. But don't worry, I'm not saying that everyone who fall under this category will have diabetes. It's in combination with your family history. If let's say that you have a family history of diabetes and at the same time you're not observing your own diet, you're taking a lot of sugar stuff, and then you're not drinking enough water, and then you overexhaust yourself, you're not sleeping well, you're not sleeping early, and this might result in diabetes subsequently. So next, we can move to this kidney yang deficiency. So yang is opposite to the yin. So this yang energy deficiency means that you have not enough, fiery energy inside your body. So what do we see under this, classification? So we do see, heavy menses that flow in dark color. You also see spotting. You might ask, you also see spotting under kidney yin deficiency. So how do I differentiate whether it's a yang deficiency or the yin deficiency? It's in combination with all the other, a list of whole symptoms that follow through. So under this category, you also feel very tired. You get pain and coldness in joints. So the coldness is more, prominent under this, yang deficiency category. So your complexion become very dull. You get frequent clear urination. You keep running to toilet. And then you get incontinence, you cannot laugh, you cannot squat down because most often you cannot control your bladder. And this water retention is a big issue to the ladies nowadays. So you might say that, oh, I'm not changing any of my diets. I'm also doing my work as per normal. Why is it that suddenly there's a huge, weight gain during this period of time? This is because there's due to the yang deficiency in the body, that your metabolism is greatly reduced. So definitely the most direct treatment is to boost this kidney yang energy. So how do we go about doing this? Very simple. You rub your palms together and then you put it behind your back around the hip area. You just rub it. And then you can do so about every day, about 5 minutes before bedtime as well. This helps you to boost your kidney yang energy that tackle with all these issues. So it has to be a very constant, efforts to do so. You can't be, expecting all these conditions to go away, after doing just 1 week of the massage at the back. So when people fall under this classification, I will call this the coldness classification for easier reference. You have to stay away from anything that's cold. So what do we mean by anything that's cold? There are two meaning in terms of nature. So radish, cabbage, bitter gourds, watermelon, pear, all these are cooling stuff. You have to stay away from them. In terms of temperature that's cold, easy to understand, taken out from fridge or you add ice. Iced Milo, iced coffee, iced tea, especially if you like it when under the hot weather. But this will definitely cause the water retention to be aggravated under this category. So for people who, like say, fall under this category, is very prone to arthritis. You get a joint pain, especially when the weather changes. You get achiness in the body. So which is also a very commonly seen condition in our clinic practice. So now we come to this liver qi stagnation. So we call this, to put it simply and for easier, like say, classification, I call this the Ganjong spider classification. Why? Because ladies who fall under this classification always very Ganjong, rushing all the time, talking very fast like bullet train, and flare up all the time. So all the people around you are very scared of you. So under this category, so what are the symptoms? You got delayed menses, which can skip for a few months. And when the menses come, it's very little, and you might be accompanied with like say menstrual cramp in dark color. There could be blood clots. There will be abdominal bloated, so before menses and during menses. And whenever you get angry, you get upset, you get chest tightness, you are very temperamental. But at the same time, you can be also very depressing. You cry, and then like say you feel very sad about yourself, you grieve over little things. And one of the most like say disturbing like say condition that ladies experience will be having this pigmentation. Yeah, it will be more mainly say at the side of the cheek where this liver meridian then runs through. So how do we go about tackling with this issue? Is to soothe this liver qi to promote the smooth flow of the blood circulation in the liver meridians. So how we can do so, like by massaging, and on the acute point, this is called a Tai Chong. So where do we locate this? This will be on the on our feet. So it located between, like say, the first toe and the second toe. You press all the way until there's a midpoint where you can't go further. So when you press on it, you feel very sore, you feel very tight. So that's the point that you can press. So this point help you to promote the liver qi meridian, or like the blood circulation in your meridian. So for the people who fall under this, like say, Ganjong spider classification, you have to avoid, like say, too much of fatty food, spicy food, like you like mala, you like chili, so this has to be avoided. And you cannot, like say, smoke or like say taking too much of alcohol. And for people who fall under this classification, it's very prone to having, like say, high blood pressure, and like say this anxiety disorder when I say menopause has started. Okay, now we have come to, like say, the last classification, and this is the phlegm dampness. So under this classification, I would say that it's more, let's say, towards this sluggish classification of the character. So you lack of motivation, you get very sian, you don't want to do anything, you just want to laze around. So people around you say that, hey, why you always so lazy? Why you don't want to do this, don't want to do your work, don't want to do housework? It's not because you are lazy, but this is due to, like say, accumulation of the phlegm and the dampness inside the body that cause, like say, this sluggish, like say, character. So what are the symptoms that go under this classification? So you get this delayed menses. So your menses don't come on time. It might be, like say, come about like every 3-4 months. So when it comes, you get very sticky, very little menses. That's very light, and you do experience this thick vaginal discharge. You get bloated all the time. It's like over here, and then you see that, no, I'm not eating a lot. Actually, I've got very low appetite, but I have a prominent weight gain. So you feel very sian. You just sit there and say, I'm just sitting there breathing air, and then your weight just keep increasing, getting fatter and fatter. So it's a very sad, like say, condition. So you experience this blandness and greasiness in the mouth, and then you get this like sticky stool, you get very tired, and then you also experience hair fall loss. So treatment is to help you to strengthen this spine, to warm up the yang energy, to help you to eliminate this phlegm dampness, the sticky components in the body. So how do we go about, like say, doing so at home? We can do so by massaging on this, like say, Zhu San Li acute point. So this one is located on the shin. There's a depression below your kneecap. So right below that, 4 fingers, using your 4 fingers, and then you directly below your 4 fingers, and then you press it outside your shin area. You feel very sore. and then you feel very tight. That's the 足三里 acute point that help to boost the yang energy in the spine to help to reduce this phlegm dampness. So now we have come to this, like say, TCM remedy part, which I believe that a lot of people would like to, like say, take a look. I'm more interested in. So I've collated this chart for your better reference. So this TCM DIY remedies that you can do it at home to cater to your body constitution. So now is the time for you to take out your mirror and check on your tongue. So there are 4 categories that I've drawn out, I've brought you, like see just now: the kidney yang deficiency, kidney yin deficiency, phlegm dampness, and the liver qi. So by using this simple checking on your tongue to see which category you fall under. From this slides, you can see a very big difference between different types of tongue. So for the first one, kidney yang deficiency, you do see that actually the color is very, very light and it's very a little bit pale in color. You might sometimes see the coating at the back of the tongue. This is due to the kidney yang deficiency. So what do we do about it? How do we go about tackling this issue? You can do this dried longan and red date tea. You can brew it at home using about, like say, 3 dried longan, about like 4 or 5 red dates. You can just boil it for about 30 minutes and can just, like say, take it on a regular basis. So to help you to increase your yang energy. But however, whenever you get dry throat, whenever you get constipation, you might have to stop this one because it could be a little bit heaty in nature. Now next, we move to this kidney yin deficiency. You can see the big difference in the tongue color. This one is very dark red color. And you see that there's no coating on top, and it is very, very thin. And then it's like say very dry in nature as well. So because this is the dry nature, it's the yin deficiency that I talked about just now, that the hot flush is very prominent under this classification. So how do you go about tackling this issue? You can brew these wolfberries and chrysanthemum tea. Then you can use about, like say, 5 grams of these wolfberries and few chrysanthemum. You can just simmer this in hot boiling water and you can just drink it throughout the day to help you to nourish your kidney yin condition. Next, we move on to this phlegm dampness. So phlegm dampness, what I talked about just now, is a very sticky condition. It's the sluggish condition. So usually most of the ladies in the morning when they brush teeth, they realize that, oh no, how come my tongue is so swollen? Oh dear, there are so much of, like say, teeth print at the side. And sometimes even when you brush the teeth, you feel very nauseous. You might even, like say, vomit a little bit, or like say phlegm stickiness stuff, like say in the morning. This is due to the phlegm dampness build-up in the body. So how do we go about doing so? Simply can just make a ginger tea to help you to boost your yang energy so as to reduce this phlegm. If let's say you want to add some taste to this ginger tea, no worry, we can add some brown sugar to the taste. And this also further help to, like say, increase your spin yang to reduce this phlegm dampness in the body. And last one, we come to liver qi stagnation. So this qi stagnation means that the qi doesn't flow well, which means also further help to, like say, prevent this blood circulation. So it get oil. See, you do see the oil color at the side here. So this is due to the liver qi stagnation. So people who fall under this category is someone who is very kanchong. I see the kanchong spider. So how do we tackle with this? Very nice tea for you to make at home. It's rose with jasmine and tangerine peel tea. So this one will help you with, like say, tackling with all the kanchongness and then insomnia and say your anxiety, so that help you to relax your mind. So this one can also be taken, like say, on a regular basis to help you to tackle with all these issues. So now you can check according to your tongue color and compare to this chart over here to see which category you fall under. So you can make the necessary changes by making any of this tea here. So for your convenience at home. Okay, now we come to fun quiz time. It's a very short quiz. So to see whether you have picked up the things that we have talked about just now. So which acute point that helps to ease the discomfort related to liver qi stagnation, the kanchong spider syndrome? Which one? Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? So give yourself some time, about 3 seconds. I'll release the result. Okay, so the answer is number 3. Is the Tai Chong Xue, Tai Chong acute point that's located on the foot. Okay, next. So which syndrome can result in hot flush, this dry condition? So is it the kidney yang deficiency or kidney yin deficiency or this phlegm dampness syndrome? So you can make a guess. Okay, the answer is number 2. Is the kidney yin deficiency because it's a dry, so the yin is deficient in the body. And the last one. Which of the following remedy is recommended for this sticky condition, the sluggish character? Whether do you meet wolfberry with chrysanthemum, or do you meet this warm ginger tea, or do you meet this relaxing rose tea? Which one? So you need something that's warm in nature, which is the ginger tea. You can add with brown sugar to help you to tackle with this stickiness inside the body. All right. Now we'll come to, like, say, the last few slides of our talk today. So there are some general advice that I'll give to the ladies tonight for joining the talk today. So it's advisable to do yearly health check so that problems can be discovered early and treatments can be rendered for best outcome. So for instance, going for bone density test, mammogram, pap smear, or simple, like, say, blood test to test for your liver function, your kidney function. This is recommended on a yearly basis. So talk to a doctor or a physician about your emotional feelings of distress, grief, ganjousness, your anger, your identity changes, and seek treatment as soon as possible. It's recommended that you should also talk to your family members, friends about feelings of mood changes so that they know your needs. If not, they don't understand what's going on inside you. They just think that, why you become like that suddenly? Now, we can move on to this balanced diet. So too much oily and sweet food will only aggravate the symptoms, especially, like, say, hot flush, weight gain, and hair loss. So also bear in mind that alcohol and smoking are also no-no. Practice relaxation and exercise such as yoga, meditation, swimming will be helpful to help you to get through this difficult period. Work-life balance is also essential for better states of mental and physical health, and sleep before 11 p.m. to help your body to rest and repair in time. So after the talk later, please prepare for bed ASAP. Don't stay up too late after 11 p.m. for recovery. So please do not self-medicate, especially when you do not know the origins of the medications. And if, let's say, that after taking the medicine, you are not feeling well or do not see any improvements, please stop the medication and seek professional help. So with that, I've come to the end of my talk tonight. So I would like to say that above all, bear in mind that you are in control of your own health. It's solely your responsibility to look after yourself, to feel good, also to look good during this transitional stage. So with that, I will pass to my colleagues, Desmond. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Okay, thank you, Physician Xiao Yan, for sharing with us all these valuable TCM tips. So right now we will go into the Q&A session. If you have any questions for Physician Xiao Yan, just type it in to the comment section below, and then we will get Physician Xiao Yan to answer them. So let's give you guys some time. Before we go into the first question, I'd just like to share that for those of you who are interested in seeing Physician Xiao Yan, if you have any conditions or issues that you want to seek her advice, you can also go to Yuan Sang TCM Clinic at Hougang Mall, as well as Yuan Sang TCM Wellness Clinic at Plaza Singapura. So she's currently practicing there, but do give the clinic a call directly to check on her schedule. And then we also have a promotion, running a promotion right now, which is the time of the month special. So if you guys are experiencing irregular menses or having severe menstrual cramps or conditions like that, you can just go to our clinics. We are running a promotion with a consultation plus 14 days of herbal medication for just 168 net. This will last until 31st December 2020. All right. Okay, now let's go to the first question. For physician Xiao Yan, we have
Yes.
Polly. She's asking, can someone have more than one type of body constitution? Is that possible, physician Xiao Yan?
Hi, yes. Oh, that's a very, very good question, which I wanted to bring up just now, but due to the time constraint. So definitely, like say, our body is a very complicated, like say, system that you do not only have experienced one type of condition. So during my slide just now, you might see that, oh no, I have this feeling of hot flush, but at the same time also like getting very this sluggish condition. So there could be a combination of like say a few syndromes that are together. So that's why like say it will be very requires our like say treatment or like say require a diagnosis in the clinic to help you to check your tongue, also feel your pulse to advise you better. So my answer to this question is yes, definitely you can have more than one type of body constitutions, and then this body constitution will not follow you throughout the life. So for instance, when you change your diet control, maybe after today's talk you get enlightened, you change your diet, you sleep better, and then like you do some exercise to help you to improve your body makeup. So your body constitution might change thereafter. Yes. So I hope that I have answered your question.
Okay, now we have the second question from Yobi. She's asking how to treat itchy skin.
Okay, sure. So this is actually a very common condition that we see in our clinic during the menopause stage. So usually what we see itchy skin is due to this, like say, kidney yin deficiency. So how do we tackle with this? Is to boost the kidney yin in our treatment by doing acupuncture, pressing on this, I say, Tai Chi, a few points that I briefed just now, or using TCM remedies that help to boost the yin inside the body to nourish your skin to reduce the itchiness. However, the phlegm dampness can also cause this itchiness of the skin. So what's the difference? The yin deficiency itchy skin is very dry. The phlegm dampness kind of itchy skin is very wet. So you might get, when you scratch, you might get like say eczema on top of this, like say itchy skin. So you have to see, like say, what other conditions that accompany with this condition that actually, I say, then the different treatment will be, like say, used for, like say, different, like say, category or the syndrome differentiation. Yes.
Okay, now we have the third question from Catherine. She's asking, does it mean that the immune system is weaker when one is going through menopause?
All right, so I will not definitely like say or like say directly link like say this immune system to our menopause, because these are the two very different like say systems. So immunity is something that we say you have to like say fight with like say the virus, fight with this bacteria, the external like say causative factors. Menopause might not be like say totally linked to this condition. It's more mean like say linked to your kidney function of the yin and yang. So it might not be totally say that people who are going through menopause with lower like say immune system, it might not be. Yes.
Okay, we also have another question from an anonymous user. She feels anxious with fast heartbeat often. Are these symptoms of menopause, and how can it be treated?
Sure. All right. So this one definitely I have to ask for your age first. If let's say you are in your 20s, I wouldn't say that no, this is related to the menopause. But if let's say you are feeling anxious and fast heartbeats, so or only at night time, so I will ask you to check for your like say whether are you under a lot of stress, is it anxiety disorder? Secondly, please go and check your thyroid issue to see whether this is due to the thyroid problem. I will not totally link it to like say menopause condition. Unless, like I say, with other condition like what we mentioned just now, you get night sweating, you get hot flush, and then your menses, like say, getting very irregular. If let's say it's all, like say, a combination of all these symptoms that fall into the categories of, like say, yin deficiency, that then we might say that this could be due to the menopause, let's say, problem. So first of all, I will still ask you to, let's say, have to check on your anxiety, whether is it due to anxiety, discomfort, or due to, let's say, the thyroid issue. So these two will have to be, let's say, eliminated first.
Okay, we have another question also from Katrina. She's asking, is Bai Feng Wan useful for menopause?
Sure. So I'm sure that a lot of ladies, especially the Chinese ladies, you do come often, like say, across this like Bai Feng Wan. This Bai Feng Wan is mainly helping you to, like say, boost your blood and boost your qi inside the body. So let's say that during this menopausal stage, you get very tired, and then I say you are very pale, your menses is very scanty, and then you feel cold limbs. You can take this. But however, if let's say that you're experiencing the opposite, you know, you get like say ganjoness all the time, you're the ganjon spider, you know, you got itchy skin, and then like say your flow is actually very heavy. Or I don't think that you should this Bai Feng Wan on a regular basis. So this one still boils down to our, like say, TCM guidance of syndrome differentiation. So you take this only when your qi and blood is low or deficient. So this one will be useful for your condition if let's say you fall under this category.
Okay, and then we have a question from Jolene. She's asking, when we press the actual point, do we press on the left or right leg? I suppose it's Zhu San Li, right?
Yes, okay, so sorry about that. I didn't really bring this up just now. So definitely because our body left, right is symmetrical. So it's recommended that you press on both sides, the left and the right for the better effect. So on the right side, 5 minutes, left side, 5 minutes. So you can do so like say about 2 to 3 times a day whenever you are available, watching TV, you know, reading a book, you know, browsing through your phone, you can just press your leg for like say better like say maintenance, yeah, or for recovery.
Okay, we also have a question from KK. What is the earliest age that one can start to have menopause?
Wow, sure. So this is also a very good question. So clinically, usually we do see, like say, ladies who are going through this menopause between the age in Asian countries, about 44 to 54. So, but we do see some ladies, they have this, like say, early onset of the menopause about late 30s. So this could be due to, like say, their body that's weak, born with, like say, weak body makeup. So it could be start from 30 plus, but the majority of the lady that we see over here is about 40 plus. So menopause is not a sudden onset. So the conditions of all the problems that we see just now, such as hot flush, body ache, insomnia, dry skin, hair loss, all these could be a telltale signs of your menopause issue that could be starting about 4 to 5 years before, like say, your menopause is in place. Yeah, which means it's the last time that you experience your menstruation.
Okay, we also have a question from Sharon.
Sure.
She's asking, how long does it take to treat and recover from menopause?
Sure. So from our clinic observations, so there are certain people who can actually recover very fast. Like for instance, after a few times of treatment, with the acupuncture or medication, actually their conditions subside out by quite a lot. But for certain people, their condition can actually persist for about 5 years or even 10 years, even longer than that. Even when after their menopause, already like no more menses for 5 years. So what determines this condition? Firstly, definitely, let's say as physicians will tell you what to take note. If let's say you're a good student, you will say that I tell you that you cannot take chili, you cannot take mala, you cannot take no spicy food, but behind my back, you go and take all this. So definitely the condition will still persist. So if let's say you're a good student, you follow through the treatment, and then I say you adjust your lifestyle, you adjust your diet, you adjust your sleeping pattern, this condition can be like say improve like say faster. But for say you asking me for how long, for instance, say a specific months or years, this one I can't really like say give you an exact like say time frame. But over here definitely we'll try our best to help you as much as we can. Yes.
And we have a question from KK again. She's asking, is it better to have late menopause?
All right, so this points or like say from this perspective, definitely ladies will think that, hey, I'm still young, so I'm having menopause. I'm still, I'm still young, so I'm still having menses, so I'm not having menopause, which means that, I wouldn't experience these wrinkles, I wouldn't have this hair fall loss, But ultimately, it's a stage in life that you have to pass through, which is recommended between like about age of about 44 to 54. If let's say that you have too late menopause, it might not be a good thing. Why? Because your body will be under like constant, like say, hormonal stimulation. that might not be proven to be very healthy. So late meaning that not later than 55, I would say. So let's say that you still have like say menses and then like say on a regular basis even after 55, you can go for regular like say yearly checkup. Go for your gynae checkup, to do your pap smear, to do your ultrasound, to just check that everything goes well inside your body.
Okay, we also have another question from Polly. She's asking, I get phlegm after every meal. Does that mean that I have phlegm dampness?
Okay, from here it looks like you might have, but this also depends on what you eat. If let's say you are eating normal, like wonton mee, like soup or anything, and then you get this phlegm, then it could be like say due to this phlegm dampness that's built up. But let's say that you are getting like this very food that's very high in cholesterol. You take like say fried chicken, you take burgers, then you're eating a lot of sugary stuff, like desserts. Then after that, then you produce like this phlegm or dampness. Yeah, this one will be due to like say because the food that you're eating that cause this like say build up the phlegm dampness inside the body. However, this condition could also be as a result of due to the acid reflux. So I also need you to be very cautious to watch out. Let's say you get regurgitation, you get heartburns, you get belching, or let's say you get bloatedness each time after a meal, or let's say at night time you toss and turn, you cannot sleep because due to the heartburn. Then this is due to the acid reflux rather than basic phlegm dampness that you need to be cautious of.
Okay, and we have one question from Katrina. Anything we can do to delay menopause?
Okay, so I suppose you want to stay as young as possible and as long as you want. But like what I say, it's a natural procedure of aging where we want to age, like say, gracefully. So it's not good to like say to delay the menses because like what I mentioned just now, it might further like say continue to stimulate on your reproductive system. It might not be very healthy. So you can age gracefully, no worries, but by using like say TCM medication, by adjusting your life cycle, by adjusting your food control, you can be extremely beautiful after that. So it doesn't mean that you have to delay until after 55, 60 plus. I don't think that's very normal. Yes, I hope that I answered your question.
Okay, and we have another question from an anonymous user. She's 51 and experienced symptoms like hot flushes, anxiety, etc. She also often wakes up with a headache in the morning, but it would last for a while only. Usually after breakfast will be okay. So is there a cause for concern, and also how to treat this?
Sure. Okay. On the plain side, I mean, by just looking at your condition over here, it looks like you might be falling under these two categories. Either one is an insufficiency in the kidney or the ganglion spider category, which is the liver qi stagnation. So, but for us to help you to better like assess, definitely you also have to check on your tongue, also like say to feel your pulse. So if let's say that this is causing you issue, for instance, if really like you cannot sleep at night, causing you to have a poor sleeping pattern, you develop like panda eye after that. You cannot focus on your work, cannot focus on your daily life. It's causing your quality of life to be like say affected. Then definitely this will cause for concern. I will ask you to go for treatment ASAP, by either going to a registered TCM physician or go to the Western doctor.
Okay, also Sharon is currently seeing a KKH gynae. Can she take both Western and TCM medicine together?
Sure. So this is also a very good question where we are seeing a combination of both, like say the Western and then like say the Chinese, like say medication treatment together, working hand in hand. So definitely, first of all, I need to find out what are the conditions that you are seeing for this KKH gynae and what medication you are taking. We'll take note into the consideration and then we will advise you further. However, on the general side, or like say for the guidance, usually Western medication and TCM medication will not have a clash, but you need to let me know what are the medication that you take, so that there are certain medication that might clash, you avoid it. So by separating, like say the TCM medication with Western medicine by 2 hours should be quite safe. But first of all, I need to know what are your conditions and then your medication that you are taking.
Okay, and we have one last question from Dell. Can we mix Chinese medicine and Western medicine to treat menopause?
Sure. So this is similar to what I'm answering just now. So actually, you cannot really like say mix together. You need to separate them by at least 2 hours. But by like combining like say Western medicine with TCM medicine to treat menopause, definitely is a recommended like say treatment nowadays. Because we do see that an increasing trend of ladies coming to us to treat like say for instance like say hot flush, insomnia, no body ache, that usually they can't really like say get treated from the Western perspective, so they come to us, and we do see that very positive results from the treatment. So definitely you can come to us and then like say to combine Western medicine with TCM medicine for the better treatment, but need to separate by 2 hours at least.
Okay, we have one more question
Sure.
from Nancy. She used to have regular menses in her younger days. Now she's 60 years old and her menses had stopped for 10 months. She doesn't have any serious symptoms except for some occasional hot flashes. Should she be concerned?
Wow, 60, and you do still have, oh, you stop your menses for 10 months. Sure. All right. So if let's say that there are no other discomfort, for instance, you do not have like say abnormal bleeding, you do not have like say weird discharges like some different color of discharges like white color or yellow color, you do not have abdominal pain, I say that maybe I'll recommend that you can just observe. But like what I mentioned just now, for ladies during the menopausal stage, you still have to go for your annual checkup, be it like say bone density check, your pap smear, or like say the ultrasound. So to ensure that everything is going well. So this is just a normal checkup. So yeah, for my advice. Okay. So I hope
Okay.
that I've answered your question.
Yep. Right now, we don't have any more questions.
Sure.
But before we end our webinar, I'd just like to share for those who are interested, we have another upcoming webinar. It's about stomach flu in children. This will be happening on the 6th of November. It's at 8:30 p.m. as well. So if you are interested in learning more about stomach flu in children, you can go to our Yuan Sang TCM Clinic's Facebook page to sign up, or you can go to sg.yuansangclinic.com. That is sg.euyansangclinic.com to sign up. All right, so if we don't have any more questions, thank you everybody for joining us today. This is a very informative talk, I must say. Thank you, physician
Thank you.
Xiao Yan. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, have a great night. I will paste the registration link in the comments section as well, so you can just click in and register. Okay, so have a good night, everyone. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, good night. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.